welcome to a video about a build for Amon. See, I've been thinking about this for a bit. I think this is the build I'm going to go with. I put everything into the Vengeance. I know you could probably throw a few into Cybernetics or Calamity, but personally, I just want a mobbing beast and a potential bossing build as well. Basically, went for, more ordnance damage, magazine, then also be able to deal cryo damage with ordnance, which is very important for this build. Then just more cryo damage, and then his shots will have a chance to ricochet an elemental shard. Then for down here, we went 5 out of 5 for wildfire to increase, your ricochet damage, burn damage, and damage duration. This is going to help with survivability. Any damage from his ordnance will give him overshield at a 20% damage, like of what you've done or whatever. 20%, I don't know. I don't know how it's really going to work in game. Haven't got to play it yet. Wish I was able to get some special, uh, you know, authority to play it beforehand or whatever. But for first augment, I went with Molten Rebuke. Basically, it's just more ricochet, but also it does incendiary damage, ordnance damage, so it'll do cryo damage and have a chance to spawn the elemental shards from this skill. Yes, because you'll be using this one to build up your cryo affinity, and then whenever you do ordnance damage, he will, for each enemy nearby, spawn an elemental shard. And also mandatory elemental shards can ricochet. So basically, not only will this be ricocheting, be able to hit enemies, build up your cryo affinity just from killing enemies, but as it happens, basically it's going to be a mass of just a bunch of ricochets. And the reason why I really want to do this kind of build is because the mob density is supposed to be a lot more. If there's like 15, 16 enemies on the screen, you throw this shield after you've killed like one or two of them, and then you're going to see like a whole bunch of crystal shards or elemental shards, and the shield just constantly ricocheting between enemies, doing a bunch of damage, and of course doing as much ordnance damage as possible. And of course, elemental shards have a chance to ricochet. So say, one gunshot from this spawns an elemental shard, right? But then it hits an enemy, or then ricochets, hits another, and having this, say it hits 6 enemies, 20% vengeance consumed, so you get up to, you do the 100%, 6 hits total, and say every hit spawns an elemental shard, right? So that means that is 18 different hits just from the shield throw alone, but of course you'll be shooting and you'll get more damage from ricochets and stuff. I just went for as much ricochet and damage for it as I can, but also threw on this one for extra shield regeneration for if you're not using an ornament, or like say you don't have this out, it's on cooldown, and your ordnance is on cooldown, so you'll have this to be able to have more shield regeneration. Or I guess technically it's also like for the armor, because armor essentially works in the same way. They said anything for shield generation will increase it, but it's like just increase the bar that fills up that gives you armor, like a segment of armor. So it'll decrease the time it takes for that, and that's up to 15% per kill, or for stats effects. So say you're using like a Malawan weapon, you shoot someone, apply shock, and you switch and shoot someone, apply acid. That's 30%, or a chance to do 30% of your regeneration, which I don't know how long it lasts, but yeah, this build looks like it's going to be very good at mobbing. And I also have this as the big damage hitter, and if it's a boss that's flying, that sucks. But if it's not, you can potentially do really good damage with this, depending on the increases you can get to ordnance and the cryo damage. And I thought about not doing this and putting on this, just so you can have an extra element. But I want as much cryo as possible, because that way if it doesn't kill someone, they could possibly be slowed or frozen, preferably frozen. And I know I could have, instead of doing this, thrown it into this, but I want more survivability because I don't want to just have like a glass cannon build on the tank character. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you think my build's pretty decent. If you want to try it out yourself when the game comes out, feel free to. Let me know how it works for you, and I hope you have a good day.